Okay, welcome back. Last time we arrived at the battle zone, battled alongside our rival to fight Vulkner and Flint, and then gained access to the battle frontier, then checked out the battle hall, the battle arcade, and the battle factory, and in this episode, which I'm re-recording because the same thing that happened at Valley Windworks happened again, we're going to be looking at the battle castle and the battle tower. So basically, the gimmick of the battle of the battle castle is you're given basically just castle points, and you can and depending on how well you perform in each battle, you get points. Like, you'll get more or less points, and you basically trade those in order to just like heal your. Actually, I can. Oh, I'll make note about this in just a minute. But basically, we get 10 castle points, and we can use them to either heal our Pokemon, rent items, restore PP, all that jazz, or we can basically just kind of scout out what our opponent has, as we can increase their levels, decrease their levels, have a look at their stats, all that, and just see how all of that goes. But we're not going to be doing any of that, and you may... But anyway, the guy we're currently talking to is Darak, who mentioned Lady Caitlin, the owner of the castle, who is in the portraits there, and is also going to be stood on the balcony there, watching our matches. And she isn't the most important character in this game, obviously, because she's, you know, kind of a background character in the Battle Frontier. However, she does come back and play a much more important role in the future game, because she goes from being just kind of effectively a background character. Even when you get to the Frontier Brain, you fight Darak and not her. However, she returns in Black and White as one of the Elite Four, and I think that's so cool, because it's just like, well, this character, they got to come back. I just think it's so cool when a character that doesn't seem like they're that big of a deal gets to come back in a later game. Like, this isn't something that's just limited to games, though, but like, specifically in Pokemon. I'm gonna go back to Pokemon first, just because it's what I'm currently on. So like, all of the stuff in Johto where you see all the Kanto characters again, I thought that was super cool. Being able to go and fight Steven in, whatchamacallit? When you can go and fight Steven in Meteor Falls and Pokemon Emerald, I thought that was super cool. Then there is, like, what am I talking about? Like, we fought like 2 episodes ago, like, where you can go and fight Cynthia in Black and White and Black and White 2, or honestly just the entire Pokemon World Tournament. And then in Sun and Moon, when Annabelle came back, despite being the frontier brain of the Battle Tower in Emerald, and having not been seen in a game for like 12, actually I think it was 11 years at that point. Like, I thought that was so cool. And yeah, also I think it's cool how she goes from just being basically a background character to, hey, I'm a member of the Elite Four, actually. Also, she is super tired all the time when you see her in whatchamacallit. Like, when you see her in Black and White, she is super tired. I think both times you fight her, she's just woken up. And is basically just like, man, I hope this isn't a waste of my time, because if it is, I'm going straight back to bed. And honestly, that's kind of real. And also, this guy just turned up and said he was the main character of the story. Okay, yeah, the main character of the story would not be using a Finneon. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm no expert, but I feel like, I don't know. Oh no, he might actually have plot armor. No way. Thunder Punch. We got poisoned. Poison Point Delibird, ladies and gentlemen. Poison Point Delibird. But yeah, obviously it isn't, like, this isn't some, characters coming back isn't just limited to Pokemon. Obviously, it's a much wider thing. People love cameos and stuff in games and movies and TV shows and all that. Like, what are some other good ones? Like, guest characters are a completely different thing. Also, that battle actually went really badly. Ah, Faint Pokemon will be revived, so that's good. And let's just heal, I guess, and just lead in with Venomoth again. Actually, I think probably the best example I can really give for this will actually just be One Piece, which I'm actually so far behind on it now that if I pick it back up, I might as well just start from the beginning again, because it's been so long. But basically, like, in the case of One Piece, it'll, like, introduce a character in, like, Chapter 8, and then it'll be like, hey, you remember this guy who was in the background in, like, Chapter 8? Yeah, here they are in Chapter 743, and they're actually important now. And I think that's super cool. Note, I actually picked two completely arbitrary chapters. I don't know what happens in either of those off the top of my head. They probably have nothing to do with each other. But if they do have something to do with each other, 10 out of 10, I managed to make a very, very lucky guess. And yeah, I just think that's super cool. And while I'm on, while I'm rambling, while I'm on the topic of One Piece, I might as well just ramble about anime for a bit. Because, like, yes, I feel like One Piece and some older shows are kind of just like they feel like they're like, you see them and it's like, this is a wall. Because just like, the sheer number of episodes is kind of daunting for people that, like, maybe haven't watched the show before. And that Delcat he had, I think I just lost. Because this Delcat has Wonder Guard, so I think I lose here. Obviously, the nuzlocke is on pause. The nuzlocke is on pause while I do all the stuff at Battle Frontier. Because, I just want to remind everyone of that. Nuzlocke rules are on pause during the Battle Frontier. But yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like I definitely prefer the way a lot of some modern shonen are doing stuff. Like, I definitely prefer the way that Hero Academia and Demon Slayer have been approaching it. Where it's like, we'll just do like 12, 24 episodes in a season, and then that'll be done for a bit, and then we can come back to it. I definitely preferred that way. Like, I prefer it that way to the old way of just like, yeah, this is going to go, like, one episode a week until the end of time. Not to say that that's bad, because some of those shows are genuinely really good, and people have a very much, like, massive, like, attachment to them. Because, like, yeah, I'm miles behind on it, but, like, when it comes down to it, One Piece is a story that has been being told for almost my entire life. Like, yeah, it's kind of a big deal, and also, you know, it's One Piece, it's kind of a massive deal. Then there's, like, Naruto and Bleach, which are obviously way shorter. Like, I think even if you add all... Like, I don't know what actually has more episodes now. Like, if you take... Like, I don't know if One Piece has more episodes, or if you add Naruto, Shippuden, and Boruto all together. I don't know if that might have slightly more. They should be around about even, I think, in terms of, like, episode count. But yeah, like, I just don't really feel like I can watch just super long shows anymore. But, like, if a show comes out in, like, 7, 12 episode seasons, that feels a lot easier than just being told, yeah, here's, like, 80 or 90 episodes. And obviously, in the case of Naruto and One Piece and everything, like, 90 episodes is nothing. And we are actually up to the last battle here, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, what was I rambling about? But yeah, like, I don't know. Basically, I remember when the final episode of Naruto was going to air, I basically decided at that point, okay, I think I'm done. Like, I don't think I'm going to watch another, like, super long-running show. Because they go on forever, basically. Like, nothing against them. They're pretty good shows most of the time. But, like, I don't know, I feel like it's just a super long commitment that I'm not really willing to make. But like, I remember saying that, and then the next week it was like, hey, Boruto started, and it was like, cool, I'm gonna watch this for a bit. And then I ended up watching, like, I watched, like, the first 30 or 40 episodes, and I watched like another 30 or 40 later, and I don't actually remember what happened the last time I watched it. I think they were in a filler arc where they were helping a movie star or something, and then I think in the next story thing, Mitsuki went missing or something. But yeah, I know that was a very, very long time ago. Oh, so yeah. So there's that. But on top of... But, I don't know, I feel like it's nice in those cases where you just have an anime that genuinely gets to reach its ending. Because, like, not only does it get to reach its genuine ending, but it gets to reach its genuine ending as it was in the manga. Because, like, I don't know, some of those, like, some shows I've seen and they just get anime original endings and they're just not good endings. And some of the, and in some cases that's like the most painfully, bitterly disappointing thing. And I will continue this ramble once I actually start up the battle tower. Because now we just need to head on over into the battle tower for the final battle facility. Because we have a little bit more battling to do. So, if we go here, we can do single battles, but I'm actually going to go over here and do the multi-battle rooms. So, also, if you go to the one on the far right, those are Wi-Fi ones, if you want to team up with someone online. I'm going to leave with Venomoth and Renekton here. But basically, we're going to save the game, obviously, because you have to save to go in. And basically, it'll say, do you want to team up with a partner locally? It's basically... But obviously, we don't have anyone nearby to play with, so instead the game will take some partners for us, and basically we'll be given the options. 2 of them are currently missing because we haven't helped them yet, but yeah, basically Buck and Marley will appear in this room later, but for now we can choose between Mira, Riley and Cheryl as a partner. So Mira has Magnezone that has Charge Beam and a Gengar with Psychic. Cheryl has a Snorlax with Fire Punch and a Wailord that uses Surf, and Riley has a Tyranitar and a Gyarados. Let's go with Riley for this one. But yeah, so, and then basically just go into 2v2 double battles, also teaming with them. But yeah, okay, that's what I was talking about. Anime original endings. Some of them are perfectly fine. Some of them are okay. And then some of them are just the most bitterly annoying, disappointing things. Like, I remember the original Full Metal Alchemist anime from 2003 had one, and I know that the Soul Eater anime had one. Give Soul Eater the Brotherhood treatment, you cowards. That's my open statement. But like, I remember We Never Learn, which is a very different show to all the ones I've previously been mentioning. I remember I got to the end of its 2nd season, and I remember, because it throws up an anime original ending at the end of its 2nd season. So I looked up a chapter list. I brought up a chapter list for this manga as soon as I finished that 2nd episode, as soon as I finished that 2nd season, because I felt like something was just a bit off with it. And then it was like, yeah, Season 2 ends at, like, the last story bit of Season 2 is, like, chapter 68 or something, and at the time they were up to like chapter 140 of the manga, so evidently there must have been no interest in making more of it, because they just went, yeah, anime original ending, bye. And it was baffling to me. And then the one that really I'm infuriated by to no end, it's been like a year and a half since it happened. But like, I think anyone that watched it will probably attest that the 2nd season of The Promised Neverland is the single most disappointing anime I've ever watched. Because I was someone who has read the manga, mostly, at the time, because I haven't been able to go and buy the manga for a good while, because, you know, global, worldwide, well, like, I guess the definition of what that happened. Basically, a global pandemic happened, and I haven't been able to go and actually buy manga, because I'm still not particularly confident about going like, long bus journeys and stuff yet. I should get on that. But yeah, like, I remember I was so excited about Season 2, because it was like, I've read the next arc of the manga. Like, I'd read that arc, and I was so excited, thinking they are going to get to this arc, and... Because Season 1 is genuinely fantastic. If you haven't watched Season 1 of the anime of The Promised Neverland, it is genuinely fantastic. I would highly recommend it. And then, you get to the end of Season 1, and the first episode of Season 2 is like, okay, they're doing it. Then, you get a couple of episodes into Season 2, and it's like, something's different here. Something is very different here. And major characters just don't turn up. Then story arcs start getting just missing. And then, you get to the end, and it's like, oh, yeah, so, he has a completely different thing. Yeah, we're at the ending now, bye. And, like, and then, okay, spoiler for, like, probably the next, like, 15, 20 seconds. So, Season 2 basically ends on effectively a slideshow of things of what would be major events in Season 3 and beyond. And basically just goes, yeah, that's it, it's over, done, bye. And just ends. And I don't think I have ever been more bitterly annoyed watching the ending of an anime. And yes, I could have just dropped it after I saw the disaster approaching, but no, I had to see it out. I had to see how it goes. I tend to avoid dropping shows. A lot of things just kind of go on hold because I know I'll come back to them eventually. And by that I mean, eventually I'll go... I feel like eventually I will end up going back to those super long shows, but like... I don't know, that's an undertaking for future me. But yeah, just like... I know, I just felt bitterly disappointed watching it. So, fortunately, like, I'm very fortunate that I was someone who was reading the manga, because it was just like, oh, this has become a disaster. And I don't think you even needed to be someone who was reading the manga to see that something was very clearly off with that second season. Like, okay, I'm also just gonna say, I wish no ill will to anyone that liked the second season. I don't think I've seen anyone who has liked the second season. But like, I don't know, if the manga wasn't there, if it was a completely anime original show, it might have been okay, but like, and there's just so many things with the writing in that season is just really not good. So my recommendation, I will just say, the animation is still really pretty and the voice actors still do a fantastic job. It's just the story writing in Season 2 of the anime. So, Season 1 ends at... wait, is this the right one? I just pulled the manga off the shelf because I have the manga nearby. So, that ends at, I think it's chapter 38 or 39? Yeah, I think season 1 ends at like chapter 38 or 39. End of the manga, so I would recommend just watching Season 1 of the anime and then picking up the manga. Because at the time of recording, I haven't finished the manga, I haven't finished reading it yet, but it is genuinely a fantastic read. And also, Season 1 is genuinely fantastically made as well. Like, I would highly, highly recommend it. But yeah, that's been my momentary anime ramble. Because, well, I got on the topic of rambling about anime, and I kinda like talking about it. Even though, admittedly, I've been really bad at, like, keeping up and on top of shows this season, and also this, in general. Like, you know how everyone was super excited about Spy Family? I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. You know how everyone was super excited about My Dress Up Darling? Haven't started it yet. Like, I am really I've been terrible at keeping on top of watching shows. Like, I started a show, like, one of the shows from last season, I'm still, like, halfway through it. And I just like, it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm about halfway through it. I'm gonna let a couple episodes build up and then I'll just marathon the rest of it. I haven't gotten around to I just haven't gotten around to finishing it yet. But yeah, also the Battle Tower is actually done now. I kind of just anime rambled my way through the entire Battle Tower as well, so I'll call that a success. That's basically, the Battle Tower is just simple. Battle Tower is simple, clean, just you go in and you fight. However, I don't think you fight the Frontier Brain in multi-battles. I might be wrong on that, but I don't think you do. Oh, also, I'm just gonna quickly go on here. Did I mention banned Pokemon? I don't think they do, but I can actually circumvent this momentarily. Obviously, Kyogre is, you know what, I'll put Arceus on. I'll pick up Arceus real quick. Oh, no, wait, my party's fault, because I picked the withdraw option. So let's just pick up Arceus. No. And just put it in the party over Hoot Hoot real quick. And try it out there. Basically, this is the way I pretty much just figured out, yeah, this is how I'll approach... Oh, it's banned. I'm sure that there's some that it's just like... I don't know, I'm sure that normally you can try it and it'll be like, the following Pokemon are banned. Okay, whatever, that's fine. But yeah, I need to do a better job at keeping on top of the anime I've been watching. Because, like, there's a whole bunch of really good shows that I really need to get around to. And you know how I said that, I'm not good at, like, keeping on top of long shows anymore? It's like, I still really need to watch Monster, because I've heard fantastic things about that. I still need to watch Gintama, because Gintama is apparently fantastic. Honestly, I could ramble about anime for a very long time, because it's something I do really enjoy. Playing games and watching anime, kinda like my two main things I like doing. Okay, so, I also want to quickly pick up the Super Rod, because while we are done with the Battle Frontier, because I'm probably not going to go back to it, and honestly, these two episodes are here because I forgot to do it in Soul Silver, so let's see what we can encounter for Route 225. Okay, we can go to Gibble, so that's a potential Garchomp, and that is huge. But yeah, like, okay, turn, Gibble just stayed the ball immediately. Thank you, Gibble, for working with me. But yeah, like, yeah, I just like anime, and I need to do a better job of keeping on top of it. And there's so much, like, basically, there's just so much good stuff that I need to get around to watching. And there's so much stuff that I just... And then, I know, then again, I also know, I know myself, I'll watch, like, 2 good shows and go, no, I need to watch some garbage now. Because I will force myself to watch garbage shows sometimes. And then it's a really awkward time when I end up enjoying the garbage show more than the supposedly good show. Because that's happened a good few times. Okay, so... Gibble, Relaxed Nature, Volt Absorb. Okay, so we have Volt Absorb Gibble, and obviously it could have 2 different abilities. So it could have a second potential one. However, we do still have the knowledge that Garchomp can have Flame Body, and Garchomp could be a really nice addition to the team. And I think it would be kind of fun to have 2 of my Heart Gold. No, I keep saying Heart Gold, I played Soul Silver on the channel. Okay, I'm gonna... Do I want to fish here? Yes, I'll fish. I'll use a Super Rod for this one. So let's see what we can get. But yeah, well, that was a really fast, like, hey, that got away. That was instant. There we go. Let's see what we can fish up here. A Tropius. Okay, that's not too bad. It's an interesting encounter, to say the least. It was also a very easy one to find, so that's very nice. However, I want to fish a couple more times, just to see what other things I could have had here. Not even a nibble. We could have had nothing, apparently. But yeah, like, anime is fun, games are fun, and unfortunately, anime adaptations of games aren't always fun. And that actually does lead me on to a thing, because basically I looked at my manga shelf, because my shelf of manga is right next to my computer where I'm recording. And this actually reminded me that people really didn't like the anime adaptation of Persona 5 very much. And I think people tend to, like, the ones of 3 and 4 seem kind of popular, but a lot of people seem to just not want to play the games of 1 and 2. And honestly, since they don't have to deal with the balancing of the social links or anything, I feel like those 2 games, well, 3 games, because 2 is obviously 2 games, I think those could genuinely work really well if they got anime adaptations. And I remember seeing an article a couple of weeks ago where it was like, hey, Atlus and Sega, like, they want to make live-action versions of some of their games, including Persona. And honestly, also this isn't a new encounter, but I just want to see what I could have had here. I could have had a Swampert, that would have been huge. Like, the thing I'm mainly thinking with that is, if they wanted to make live-action versions of their games, they have games that would be a much better fit than Persona. I know that's like the name value and name recognition and everything, but something like Catherine or something like Trauma Center would work so much better as a TV show. But like, I feel like Catherine could be a really solid anime, and I feel like Trauma Center as just a genuine medical drama has a lot of potential. Also, Trauma Center is a really good series, and I would recommend it, especially if you can find it cheap. I also really hope I can play Trauma Team one day, because unfortunately Trauma Team is the last game in that series, and it just never came out here, because it came out in like 2010, which was like prime Atlus going, no games for you, Europe territory, and like, Second Opinion came out, New Blood came out, but Under the Knife 2 on the DS and Trauma Team on the Wii just never came out in Europe. And that is kind of upsetting, because I would love to play those games. Less so Under the Knife 2, because, well, Under the Knife 1 is not great. I do not enjoy that game very much, but Second Opinion is very fun. Very hard, though. Like, I think those are up there with the hardest games on the Wii. Obviously, I have not played every game on the Wii, but, I'd say it's up there. I'd say it's probably the hardest game I've played on the Wii. Oh, well, Second Opinion is up there. New Blood is definitely... Like, New Blood is a game that chooses violence. That game is hard. And also, we've made it to the resort area, which is actually a game, which is also a place with a rather important distinction, actually. Because the resort area, if you fish here, you can actually find a wild Magikarp up in here in the regular game, and it can be anywhere between level 1 and level 100. And I always thought that was super cool. But apparently we can fish up a Gligar, but obviously we don't need one because we had a Gliscor. So I could climb species on that and get my Gliscor back. Because, you know, huge power Gliscor is kind of a big deal, you know? That is level 66. That is actually a higher level than any of my Pokemon. Like, that thing would actually be maxed out. Like, that thing would be closer to the level cap than any of my current Pokemon. Oh, also, actually no, I'm looking at the timer now. I'll save it for the next episode, but because I kind of want to go on like a 10-minute ramble about the Pokemon anime and the Masters 8 tournament. Like, I really want to talk about the Masters 8, because it's not done yet as of the time of me recording this. It might be by the time it goes up, it might be, but as of the time of me recording this, only a couple of matches of it are done. So I will ramble on about that in the next episode. I'm gonna just get my encounter here and then end this episode off, because I think it'll be like a 10-15 minute ramble. Oh, and I'm genuinely really looking forward to seeing more of it, even though, actually no, I'm just gonna fish. And hopefully I can find something that isn't a Gligar. Oh, we can get a Numel! Ah, Numel's so cool. I love Camerupt. Numel's good, and Camerupt is one of my favorite fire types. Like, you know those Pokemon that are just getting pretty much no recognition? That's me with, like, that's me with Hoenn's fire types. I love Hoenn's fire types. Like, I think Blaziken might actually be my least favorite of the fire types added in Hoenn. Because, like, I love Numel and Camerupt, and Torkoal. Torkoal is so good. I'm still... Wait, did Torkoal make it? No, I think Torkoal died right at the end of Emerald. I might be misremembering, but I think my Torkoal died right at the end of Emerald. So that kinda sucks. Okay, so let's have a quick look at our two new Pokemon before I end things off. Tropius Cathelnature with Steadfast, and Timid Numel with Water Absorb! Water Absorb Numel. Man, if it kept that, and it already has Earthquake and Lava Plume, if it kept that when it became Camerupt, I would 100% want to add it to the team. Okay, so, do I need Rhyperior? I think I do, because I'm going to Stark Mountain in the next episode, so I'm going to keep a hold of it. I'm going to keep a hold of Rhyperior just for now, and if I need to, I can come back later and just drop him off. Or maybe I could drop, maybe Houndoom off. Whatever, I'll figure that out. Anyway, I'm going to end off today's episode here. Honestly, it was nice to just kind of ramble about anime for like 25 minutes. That was fun. So yeah, I'm going to end off today's episode here and now that we've shown all of the Battle Frontier facilities, the Nuzlocke is back on, and we're going to be making progress again in the next episode. The goal for my goal for this next episode is to just probably get up to and maybe get through Stark Mountain. And I still don't know when I'm going to put in helping Marley, but I'll figure that out and put that in somewhere. I'll probably just end up with a longer episode somewhere. And after that, it's pretty much just like catching legends and preparing for rematches. So, yeah, I'm going to end off today's episode here, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Okay, later.